What a beautiful, beautiful day. This beautiful overcast day here in May, which I'm loving. This is my birthday month. I wonder if there's any other May babies out there. Blessings and happy birthday to you if it is also your birthday. Blessings, good morning. Thank you for hopping onto Instagram, everyone. I'm so grateful. And everyone, all of the new subscribers at YouTube, thank you so very much. Everyone at Insta, all the new fam that pass through, that connect. I love these two communities so very much. I am Tuesday May Thomas, and this is 4D Trinity, my weekly live stream. Woo! Every week we go deep into exploring the invisible realm, exploring the aspect of your metaphysical being and well-being, how you can become an enlightened master of your own time and space through being conscious of your contribution, of what you put forward into life, of what words, of what feelings, of what actions and deeds you participate in this world, and how that gives rise. Oh, there goes the Swami. You know, I was wondering how long the little Swami cat was going to stay with us, little Swami origami. But the excitement that our words and that our energies gift out into the world is what creates the excitement and the stir of the atomic structures that reflect us, that are an extension of us in this universe. And it's so awesome and cool to get together with you in these communities at Instagram, these communities through YouTube, and share and hold space for one another, to have these conversations, to share these teachings. So thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Here at 4D Trinity, we're all about bridging heaven on earth. 4D relates to our fourth dimensional consciousness. That is who you are when you're not thinking with your mind. That is who you are when you make choices from the purity of your heart, from the pure, integral, authentic version of you. And really what happens is we're born in this life, and most of this life, I know for me, the first half of this life has just about deconstructing what I am not, because the truth of us is always here. And so as we deconstruct what is not, we just are allowed then to be initiated into our true sound, our true vibration, our true frequency. And as we do that, a divine alignment, a healing occurs, a divine alignment happens in our minds, in our bodies, through the emotional subsets of our emotional body. And when that alignment is given the right of way, we bridge heaven on earth. We have that experience of the now, of being present in our truth. And that truth of you is where your joy is where your health is where your grace is, that extends out to others and beyond the world. And so I am so honored. This is the work that I love to do in this world right now, holding space for these fourth dimensional consciousness teachings. So thank you everyone for being a part of it. As you know, once a month we are here. This is the Q&A. This is Ask Me Anything. And believe me, I've had all sorts of very interesting questions that I get to sit with and be sensitive to, and allow for the highest good. The way that this works. Now I already see there's comments happening on YouTube. So thank you. Everyone's like just lining up, throwing their question in, which I'm so grateful for, because that's how this stuff works. If you're on Insta and you want to join in, you get to DM me. Please DM me instead of writing your question in the comments on the front here, and I will be checking, be going back and forth. These shows are generally about 60 to 90 minutes long. I will be hard stopping at 12:30 though, unless we're guided to fold before then. Okay, so just so you know, it's a first come, first serve for the highest good. I channel the higher self. I channel your higher self. So if you've asked a question and you're here, then I am allowing the assumption that you are giving the permission that I may tap in to not only what is going on perhaps in the invisible realms of the divine guidance of your higher self, but you know, the higher self is one mind. It is one mind. It is a collective mind that we all share. And so what we're doing when we tap in and we allow and offer advice for one person, or perhaps some divine guidance for one person, often there are fractals through which our own paths that we can be served. So as it serves the highest good, so it is. Thank you again, everyone, for hopping on. We're going to begin shortly. What is one more thing I would like to say is thank you for going by my website, tuesdaymaythomas.com. Subscribe to my monthly love letter. I send out a monthly love letter, a newsletter with a little blog and information about my teachings. I'm going to be in Ireland this fall. I'm going to be starting to film for my movie, Grid Mind Science, which is up. It has its own little page at Instagram. There's a website. There's all sorts of things to come. But I am making a metaphysical movie exactly about all of this stuff, about the grid matrix of collective consciousness. You know, what we talk about pretty much every week on this show when we're not doing our Q&As, and how we're interconnected to everything as a constant. And just by creating a conscious awareness of that which we are co-creating through our words, thoughts, deeds, energies, emotions, feelings, when we start to master and hone that, that's when we start to have a new experience of health, of healing, of well-being, of freedom, of liberation. And this show and the teachings, they're all about getting us back to that spiritual sovereignty, that part of us that is the I am without the story. Well, especially the stories that hold us back, right? It's those stories that keep us bound to versions of ourselves that perhaps were true at one point of our life, but that we feel now we don't need to walk with those chains or that gravity anymore. So do check it out, my movie. I'll be working on this for the next couple years, Grid Mind Science. I'm so excited to share with you. So come by my website, sign up if you appreciate what I share. I would love to keep in touch. Okay, so I've already been sitting here pre-shuffling our little Oshos. So often what I'll do is I will channel your higher self for the guidance. As it's guided, we will pull 1 or 2 or 3 or more. We'll see Osho Zens. Now I also have our little angel cards, and I'm guided to start with just choosing one of these cards for our overall experience together, and then we'll get right into the questions. I know there's one of you actually wrote me an email with a question or two, which I have not even looked at, so we will make sure we do not forget that. What is our card? Oh, 2 want to come out. Woo! Power and peace. Peace and power. Peace and power. Okay, blessings. I'm going to sit these down here. And I think, oh, rooting for you. Okay. The glasses. Oh, blessings. Ori Shazma. And I pray I'm saying that correctly. Thank you for all your support on Insta. I'm so very grateful. Blessings and welcome. All right, so we're gonna get started. So I'm going to YouTube first. So what I'll do is I'll do YouTube, and then I'll cross back around Insta, and we'll see if anybody's out there in Instaland that has a question. All right, Champagne, blessings, welcome back. It's so lovely that you keep coming back here. I love these communities because we don't know each other. Like, I don't hang out with Champagne on the phone. And we're like, so anyway, girl. But we have this energy, right? These communities, we create these energy connections with each other, and we value the exchange, and we keep coming back and we keep building on the teaching. So thank you for your guidance to keep coming back, Champagne. She says, yes, I do have a question. Please, I want to see if we can try connecting with my grandmother in spirit. We couldn't get a loan to buy her house from our own cousins who chose to sell the house. And we are now moving out. Any guidance or advice on how she feels about her house? Thank you. Okay. So thank you, Champagne, for that question. As we begin, as always, we are going to do our work. We always do our work in the rose quartz crystalline cave. So we will take a moment. We can imagine if rose quartz crystal is new, you can see this rose quartz here. Just to give you an idea, imagine a big, beautiful pink, rose quartz pink cave that we are entering into. And as we do, we take a breath. We enter this cave as our higher selves. All those guided to come, whether you are here now or you will stop by in a little while, you are welcome. Your higher self is welcome. We meet here as our higher selves, and from this divine space, we do our work together in this cave, in this interdimensional, multidimensional cave, this sacred space, this safe space, this clean, clear space. We call in our angels, our guides, and all of those light beings who love us, perhaps loved ones that have passed from this life, animal totems, medicine beings. We welcome you, all of the light beings who love us. We thank you. We thank you. We thank this crystalline cave for holding space. And so it is. So all of our work is done in this crystalline cave. Okay. We couldn't get a loan to buy her house from our own cousins who chose to sell the house. Okay. So I am curious. I am curious. Was the and I usually I don't ask questions, you know, the champagne, but I have this sense of, did your grandmother leave the house to who did your grandmother leave the house to? So, because you're saying, I do have a question, please. I want to see if we can try connecting with my grandmother in spirit. You couldn't get a loan to buy her house from your own cousins who chose to sell the house. So that gives me the impression that she left it to them, And we are now moving out. Any guidance? Okay, so you live in the house, grandmother passed. I'm putting these together. And if you have anything to add to this, okay, yes, she did. We lived here for 12 years. So she left it to the cousins, yet at the same time, you actually live there right now. I just want to make sure that I get that correct. You would like to buy the house from the cousins, but you didn't get a loan to buy the house. Now I'm going to assume that that is correct. Okay. Okay, after 12 years, they decided to come charge us. Yes, you and your mom. Okay. All right. So, let's take a moment, because this is complex. When there's a beloved elder, there is a third dimensional home, a sacred space, where that elder spent much of her time with her family, her beloved family. And the elder is always that central pillar that keeps things organized, that keeps things in check, right? I mean, that's what grandmas do. They keep things in check. And now grandma's gone. And so there is a sense of chaos, and also of clinging, and of actually what is very natural, though, that your cousins have been left this house, and now they're making a decision of what to do about it, and they're deciding to sell. At the same time, that puts you and your mother out. So as it serves the highest good, we ask that we may be connected with Champagne's grandmother in spirit, only as it serves the highest good, in any way, shape, and form that is of the light, that she would speak to us, that she would give us divine guidance through higher self. We receive it. You know what, even when I was first reading this paragraph, Champagne, and what I was getting before even like consciously connecting with your grandmother is she wants you to move on. She feels, okay, now, and I'm going to just say this, right, with love and in bubbles of light for the highest good. But there is a sense that she actually sees you and your mother as a very different frequency than your cousins. Your grandmother sees how you and your mother are like this power team. You have a different karma. You have a different energetic stamp upon you versus your cousins. What I'm hearing your grandmother say, and please, it's very rare that I channel entities that have passed in this way, right? When it's a personal relationship. And so for the highest good, with honor, I allow what is coming through with love. She's saying that they need more help than you do. She's saying that they need more help than you and your mother do. And that's why she left the circumstances as such, because whoa, your grandma's deep. She says she can see the future. Does that resonate? She says she can see the future, and your mother's future is bright. She's not concerned about how you are able to navigate your path, but she is concerned about your cousins. She realizes that they need more help in a 3D way than you do. So I pray that that is resonant and that has a field of truth about it for you. And she's saying, don't worry. She's so cool. She's like, do it how you want to do it. If you feel like holding on, then maybe there can be a new agreement made through the family of how things are divided or thought about. Maybe there's going to be a different perspective. Yet what I'm getting is that she's done this way. And I'm sorry, by the way. My heart goes out to you that your grandmother has passed. She says she's okay though. She's like, I'm in the light. I'm good. But she knows that you guys are going to be okay. And so anyway, there may be a reconfiguration of how things can be resettled. Yet she's saying, yet wasn't her intention or her plan. The way that she saw things is that this would create, she knew that this would happen. This would create a catalyst whereby you and your mother would be almost forced, but in a graceful way, because she's got you. She's your team. She's got you in the invisible realm, but in a way to support you moving up. The way she sees you and your mother is a much broader horizon, a much broader vista of opportunity available to you both that is different from that of with your cousins. And so this incident is creating this, it might at times feel like friction. It might at times feel like, why is it happening like this? Yet what I'm getting from her is that she's saying like, no, this is, if it wouldn't happen the way it's supposed to happen if it didn't happen like this. Now I pray, is that resonating with you at all, Champagne? Is that resonating? Wow, this makes so much sense. Okay, good. So that sense of, so let's pull a card, because I know there's a lot of questions and I want to get through. We can double back later if we need to, but I know there's a lot of questions and I want to keep going. So let's just see for the highest good. And who's Ruth? Who's Ruth, Champagne? So for the highest good, what is grandma's? Oh, so you see, grandma's all up in the delight. And you know what I realized when I hold these things up, someone was saying, I think it was Ghetto, and I'm sorry, I don't know your last name of your tag, but I'll just call you Ghetto, that he was saying that my shirt that said God is a verb was backwards. And so I still need to change. There's a setting in my phone. The BFF was telling me that I need to change. So I don't know if you can read this correctly, but it does say delight. So grandma's got your back. She is orchestrating things from the beyond. She knows what she's doing. She had given a lot of thought to this before she passed. And she okay, so I'm getting, remember how your thing is like the voyeur, the vision? Yeah, grandma's got that voyeur going on. She can see into the future. And she's like, I have no worries about my little Champagne. She's like, I have no worries about my daughter either. But she is concerned about the others. But when it comes to you and your path, it's very, it's very old school grandma, but she's like, I just want her to be happy. She wants you to live in delight. And she knows that you and your mother, while there could be some friction and some like, with, when people die and there's money and there's homes and then you're being like asked to move, it's like, it's a thing, right? There's personality dynamics, sometimes people's greediness and interesting aspects come up to be considered. Yet she knows that you're not that person. She knows that you're not going to get confused to the degree where that's going to be something that's going to ruin your life. She knows that you have the capability to see things for what they are, and your mother included, and to be like, okay, let's make a plan. So she's saying, get a plan together. She's saying, on one hand, you never know, they could have a change of heart. Something could shift. The people from the bank could call, the divine universe, God could just be like, boop, and now we're going to do this. But at the same time, what she's saying is to make a plan and to hold it lightly. To hold it lightly. Conditioning, letting go as you make this plan. using her spirit. So she has very powerful way and means of speaking to life. She's inviting you to think like her. See this card, this is guidance. There's the angel that is saying come this way, and I know these cards are pretty worn out, but there's us over here going the other way, and the angel's saying go this way, right? We're going one way, the angel's going the other way, and that's her, and she's saying like just keep listening to me, just keep praying with me, attuning to me, and I will lead you down a new path that is not the same as it was before. You and your mother have some serious celebrating and spiritual growth to do. And what I'm getting is that it's important for the two of you to have this experience, whether this is like over a month or a 3-year situation, that's about you seeing your mother and your mother seeing you through these realms of spiritual growth and practicing integrity and authenticity. This is such a different perspective than we've been looking at it. Crazy, wow, OMG. Okay, and if you think of who Ruth is, because I keep getting a Ruth in here, Champagne, let me know. All right, darling. So let's see. So we are going to move on for now. Oh, you're so sweet. Let's see. Orishaisma. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to pronounce that. Thank you. It's Orisha. Orisha. Okay, Orisha. That's easy. You just made it extra for IG. I guess my only question is, okay, so you know what? I have to stay on my, if I start doing them from there, then everyone's going to write there. And I'll just see if you wrote me on Insta, because please just copy and paste that and DM me on Insta. Maybe you already did. I'm on a different account here. And then I will definitely get to that. And if not, Orisha, send it right along. Okay, wait, there's one. Maybe this is you. So I pray that serves you, Champagne. I pray that serves you. Okay. Okay, so I see one. No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay, darling. So go ahead, Orisha, and send that to me on the DM. Just copy paste it, send it to me on the DM, and I will answer in that way. So please, if anyone has any questions, do it in that way. That is how we roll, and I would be so grateful for you to do that. Now I'm going to go into the email here because we had gotten a question, and I remember last time we only got through one of your questions because you had sent more than one. There's a dear supporter, subscriber in India, and I'm going to just call you Sunny because it's not sure to me whether you want, okay, no, it is clear to me. Okay. So there is a daughter who has been engaged. On asking by her fiance, she told about her being in love with a guy. In the beginning, he took it well, but now everything has got messed. The boy she got engaged is ready to accept her, but all his family members are upset about everything. Sometimes even engaged boy seems very manipulating. Now my daughter is reluctant about getting married to him. She told the truth, and they are all treating her as someone committed sin, which she didn't like. Please let me know what is good for my daughter, getting married to him or canceling evening. Your words are going to help me in making a very important decision. So it sounds like your daughter got engaged. Okay, she got engaged, but she's actually in love with someone else. So without even like having to get really deep into a higher self realm, I mean, in a very practical realm, if she's in love with someone else, right, then perhaps marrying this gentleman is really not the highest good. So let's take a moment and we'll tap in with higher self. Yeah, higher self is saying no. You know, these things, okay, so what I'm getting is that these things happen for a reason, and that there's a divine providence of provision that is like our protection, especially when it comes to these big life-changing commitments that we might get ourselves into, such as in this case, your daughter marrying this man. And especially if she has feelings or has spent a great part of her life being in love with someone else. Now, and it's interesting, right? Because now the whole town knows, or I'm going to, you know, uh, I'm going to exaggerate, right? But the whole family knows, the whole town knows, say, right? And so everyone's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. She's engaged to so-and-so, but don't you know that she really loves blah, 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 blah. So she's actually being very courageous. I want to give her props because sometimes we get ourselves into these kind of situations and then we just think that we have to be the victim. We feel that we have to go along with these decisions that have been made for us or that we've said yes to, when in fact, sometimes we just don't know until we've gotten into those situations where our heart truly lies. And she's doing the work. What I see here is I want to tip my hat off to your daughter, because she's living in her truth. And she's saying, you know what, actually, I love this other person. And while I can be in love with you and I can get engaged with you, and it's kind of interesting, right? How we can be a lover to more than one person, or we can have a heart that has love for two people. Or perhaps that, like this story, that it feels to me that she has been in love with this guy number one, but something never happened or hadn't happened yet romantically with them. And so guy number two comes along. He says, let's get married. She says yes. But then she's like, but I've always really, really been in love with guy number one. So this is really important that she's saying that. Let's honor her. Let's acknowledge that. I'm so glad she has you to support her, because you understand and you love her unconditionally. And secondly, all the grief that she's getting from the community is like her higher self really saying back to her, like, whew, right? So if she's getting, a pushback from the community for being in love with someone else when she's engaged with this, I mean, that's really rebellious. But also, it's like the truth call. It's like she has created. If she wanted to marry the guy who she's engaged to now, if she really, really, no doubt in her mind, knew that was the truth in her heart, she would not be bringing up guy number one. Guy number one is the safety valve. Whether she ends up with guy number one or not doesn't even matter. It's that she's said, like, I'm going to get engaged to you, but I've always had a thing for this guy, number one. So what that's doing is even though she has the ring on the finger, she's already said, but my heart belongs somewhere else. So she is setting up an escape route for herself. I'm a very smart girl, because sometimes we don't know, though. And marriage and engagement is a trip like that. I've been engaged 3 times. I know all about it. It's very interesting. The things that start to happen when you start to align with a dream in your heart that you think you can live, but sometimes that brings into alignment the real truth in your heart that you really want to live. And whether she gets with guy number one or not, ever, he obviously represents something to her that's very powerful, that's about her being her authentic self, that's about her being seen as her authentic self. So I think it's beautiful that you can honor her and that you can acknowledge her. And, this too shall pass. So if there's any gossipy whatever, it's like, you know what, it doesn't matter. It's better that there's a little whatever hubbub than your daughter getting involved in a situation that she's going to hate for the rest of her life, or hate herself, or hate the husband, and be destroyed by that situation. So I say good for her. She's got a lot of courage to speak up. And I offer you, through this divine guidance that's coming through, that you just really support her and give her space and time to be true to herself, that she can figure out which way she wants to go without the pressure of feeling that she needs to make a decision based on anyone else's right or wrong, right? It's all about her. So this is a very big initiation for her. She's obviously a young woman. She has your divine counsel and guidance to help support her. And so thank God for that. Thank God for that. The people who really know her, who really love her, you all have her back. So she does have support, and that she's even speaking up is amazing. So here's another one from the email. Oh, this is a part 1 to the part 2. Okay, no, so that was a part of the other one. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. And I pray that that serves you. Now I'm going to go back into Insta and see if we have a direct message. I know, Orisha, you were asking a question. All right, my dear. So please, if you have a question on Insta, go ahead and DM me. And I'm going to hop back over. Rather, please DM me versus writing your question in the comments on Insta. I'd be so very grateful. Milky Way says, hi. Hi, Milky Way. Thank you so much. You don't read, just speak. I do. It just depends on what kind of guidance is requested from the higher self. So what we do here is you ask any question that you are divinely guided, that you have. And for the highest good, I channel your higher self, aka the higher self. As it's guided, I will pull a card or two. It just depends on the question, on the reading, on what is guided in that moment. I use the Osho Zen Tarot. And sometimes we'll even pull, my nose is itching, sometimes we'll even pull a little angel card. So just so you know, if you would like to ask a question, it's just first come, first serve. Go ahead and have your question in the comments. And Donald Trump is on YouTube, and Donald Trump says, what kind of sorcery is this? That is so interesting that you're calling it sorcery. I feel like we need to look that word up, because I really don't know what it means. I mean, I have ideas of what I think it means, but you know, before I answer that question, can I even get online on this little phone? Before I answer that question, I'd like to ask you, Donald Trump, what is your definition of sorcery? Then I can proper navigate my answer for you, dear. In the meantime, I'll look it up here on the little Google, and then we'll see if you come back, and I will just keep scrolling down these questions. It's so interesting too. When my nose gets itchy, I feel like we are on a roll. So I'm itching. Julieta, hi, blessings. Seba, 1982. I'm a new subscriber. I am Sebastian, Virgo. I have a lawsuit with a neighbor. Will I win? Okay, that's a real clean question. You have a lawsuit, itchy nose, lawsuit with a neighbor. Will you win? Okay, so I get a yes. I get a yes. I'm getting, you have all the proper documents and legal papers. There might be one more you have to get, but it's not going to be a problem. It's just like a phone call and a drive or something, and a photocopy. It might be something, what I'm seeing is like, you know, what is that when we have to get something bonded? Not bonded, but it's when you have the legal representation there, and you get a, what's the name? You know, you go and you say, you say whatever you say, and they seal it, they bond it, and you could do it for, I don't know, $10 or $20 at the local accountant's office. What is that word? But there is something that you might need, but it's very, very easy for you to attain. And I'm getting that you have all your papers in order. You have everything correct. And okay, so what higher self is saying is that while this scenario plays itself out, for you to be, Sebastian, for you to just be so cool and not to do anything. So what I'm getting, bubble of light, but I am getting that your neighbors are looking for something to pin on you. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying this to be, you know, there's never any force of will. There's never any weird, funky manipulation of that level of woo here. All the woo here is wow. All the woo here is rooted in love. But I'm just simply sharing what higher self is guiding, what your higher self is guiding to share with you. So you may already have a sense that this is bubbling and percolating in the invisible realms metaphysically. But there is a sense, and this sounds really strange, so I'll put it in a bubble of light, but that they're watching you. And in between now and the space of whenever the courts happen, and even while that's happening, just like don't speak in front of them. Don't, like, okay, I'm just going to go there, but they're like with their cameras. Like they want to try to pin something on you, but because they don't have anything on you, you see. So just keep cool and just zip it. If there's anything that needs to be said, you have your lawyer say it. But be really uber professional as this edges into this time, because I do get, yes, you will. Make sure you have all your papers in order. There might be one more, but to be absolutely, to keep the tipping of the scales on that leverage where things do work out in your favor, you are guided to, higher self is saying, not open your mouth in front of them. And you probably already know that, but just, you might be tempted. There might be a situation or a scenario. Obviously, if it's about saving their life, saving someone's life, something dramatic like that, you're going to swoop in and do what you need to do. But if there's something that's not your business, not inviting the highest good, feels odd, feels a little tricky, chances are it might be. And so you just place love there, you detach yourself, right? And you just keep focusing for the highest good, how you would like things to unfold. And may all parties be served. May all parties be served. So blessings, Seba. Sebastian, I pray that that serves you. Okay. Bows and bubbles. Hello. I'm very well. Blanca, hello. How is everyone? Yay! Okay. Sophia, hey, I have a question. Sophia says, what do I have to start doing so more than 80 people show up to my party tomorrow? Oh, so more than 80 people. What do I have to start doing so more than 80 people show up to my party tomorrow? Okay, so let's just tap in. And you are, again, Sophia, right? Sophia. Higher self, what does Sophia have to do so that more than 80 people show up to her party tomorrow? Okay, well, higher self is giving a little bit of it's starting off with a little bit of a school of hard knocks, because higher self is saying, plan better. For next time, plan better. And higher self is also saying that these events that you're doing, this is a new corner to turn, and that there are skills and means and methods that if this is something that you seek to do in the future, to continue doing this kind of an event, that preparation would generally take place, even if it's a birthday party event, like 4 to 6 months before the actual 3D manifestation. But higher self is like, we're not trying to punish you. We're just illuminating that aspect in case it was unclear or something you hadn't considered. But what higher self is offering is that we go back in time. Woo! Sophia, we're going to go back in time for the highest good. So let's take a moment. We'll just close the eyes, take a breath. So go back in time, Sophia, and imagine 4 to 6 months before this. And I pray this resonates. Maybe you're like, I have been planning this party for 3 years. But either way, higher self is offering this, that we go back in time 4 to 6 months. And now take a moment to see yourself, envisioning all the people you know for sure that you want to be there. See yourself in this vision as your higher self, meditating. And in the meditation that you see yourself as, see in that meditation the event, the party, more than 100 people there. And then take a moment to look around the environment, just perfect as you would have it, and see those specific people, just their faces, of who you know for sure is important for you to be there. And then take a walk to the entrance, the door or the gate. Perhaps there's a bouncer or a person, whether it's taking cash or with a clipboard taking names or handing out tickets, or however that might look. But imagine now that you're walking up to them and checking in and saying, so how many people we got? And just listen to the number and allow it to be more than 100. Just listen to the number they tell you. And let it be a number that excites you, that feels good. And then turn back around and look at this event and see all of those people, and imagine that roundabout number that you've been told being the truth about that. And then fill the space with love. Fill the space with light. Imagine an endless supply of love and light channeling from the heavens through your crown into your heart and out, filling this space, filling you till you're overflowing and filling this space, all the rooms, the back doors, the front doors, the side doors, the windows, if there's any windows, the levels, the floors, the bathrooms, every single place, every nook and cranny filled with love, filled with light. See yourself and surround yourself in a radius, in a ring of light that keeps you directly connected to your higher self. Place love there. Let it be for the highest good, and then bring your awareness back into that meditation that you are visualizing yourself meditating. Take a breath and bring yourself one step further back into the room where you are now. And we'll come back here now. So that's very powerful, everyone. If this resonates with you, that you can go back in time and for the highest good without, we never manipulate, we don't force a will. We're not trying to do anything that does not serve the highest good. Yet what we do recognize here with higher self-wisdom is that there are a constant, eternal amount of puzzle pieces that do serve us, that are for our highest good, and as conscious co-creators that we can work with and use and connect with in ways to co-create a divine reality that we'd love to live. And so that's what we do here, is we tap in and we follow that guidance, we follow that wisdom. And so thank you, higher self. So I feel that that has done something in itself. So Sophia, I don't know if you're still here. Dude, no one who sent you a message a week ago will not look through all this footage. Please use your intuition. The person talking. Don't be rude. She gets to everyone. Question, and it isn't ignoring you intentionally. Thank you, Champagne. I didn't even realize there was all this drama going on. But thank you. Thank you, Champagne. Sticking up for me. I need to know something. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Sophia, I think, was getting a little impatient, and I didn't realize how impatient you were getting until I scrolled down. Okay. Ooh, Sophia says she's just wasting her time. The person who she's giving advice to won't know that her reading happened. Wow. Wow, Sophia. Well, you know what? I think we're done. She says, Sophia says, I need to know something, and I am here in the N space O space W. Live in the present. Well, I just wish you so much love and that your event is blessed. And may you get everything you think you want in the most beautiful ways and for the highest good. Okay, we're going to move on. So I'm going to check and see if there is any Insta messages. Oh, wait, sorcery. Okay. Sorcery, according to Google Dictionary, is the use of magic, especially black magic. Okay, so then Mr. Donald Trump, who was on here earlier questioning what kind of sorcery is this? You know, I very rarely use the word magic. Once in a while, because, you know, magic is magic, yet it's not a word that I attune to as being a part of what I do. And if at all, if we are going to go there, then what I will resonate with is clear magic. So it's not white, it's not black, but it is that clear magic that is really the divine serendipity, as the Raven calls, the divine gift, truly, Sophia, of being in the now. And the gifts that preside, that are added unto us by way of the miracle of love. That is really how I operate versus anything else. So I pray that that answers your questions. Okay, so Bianca, we're going to come back up here for a minute. I just want to see Seba. Yes, I read for you, honey. Let's see. Champagne says, Donald Trump is on here. Wow, a president of the United States. I know, right? What a trip. Okay, so Sebastian was saying, yes, great. Evidence, receipt. They are trying to frame me. Okay, I win. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's why we're saying, like, be real, you know, just be super careful because there is a sense that you're being watched, and like you're not doing anything funky, but you know how some things you can take one thing and like distort it and make it look like something else. So you don't want any of that. You don't want any of that. So just be mindful, Sebastian. All right, blessings. So Bianca, if it's that urgent, find a reader elsewhere. Oh, Bianca, you're even, oh, my crew is all like standing up for me. You lovelies. Thank you so much. Yeah, I guess Sophia was I mean, you know, we all get impatient at times. So, but that's really sweet of you, Bianca and Champagne. Okay. Hey, is this Tarot Naira? I pray I'm saying that correctly. It is a Q&A, Ask Me Anything, where we are rooted and based in teachings and guidance based in the heart, based on love, based on spirituality, based on the higher good of all. I channel your higher self as I'm guided. We might pull a couple cards for your journey, for your reading. And so if you have a question, you can go ahead and ask it. So I see there's a few people here on the YouTube that are saying, hey, I have a question. So please ask your question. And I see that there's Anushe, can I have a career reading? Let me just dip over to Insta for a moment. And I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. So again, please, if you're on Insta and you have a question, put it in the DM. Okay. So just so you know, oh wait, I think there's one here. Okay, awesome. So again, if you have a question on Instagram, please DM me versus putting it on the comments, because it scrolls and anyway, this is the way I prefer to do it. So thank you. All right. So Volunta says, hi, I have a question for you live. What do my spirit guides have to say in regards about my ex? What does he feel about the breakup and about me? Thank you so much. Okay. What do your spirit guides have to say in regards about your ex? What does he feel about the breakup and you? Okay. What are we getting from the higher self? Changing gears, connecting with you here. I'm going to call you Volupa. So I'm getting that he's not sure. He feels that he might have made the wrong decision, but he's got a lot of pride. He feels that he's made the wrong decision, but he's got a lot of pride. Well, higher self is saying he does have a very healthy ego. So he has a lot of pride in this situation. He's the higher self is saying that he feels hurt. Well, okay. He has higher self is saying he has a big ego. So he has a lot of pride on one hand because there's a lot of complex layers here. He has a lot of pride because he, on one hand, feels that you guys should have been able to see the relationship through. And on another hand, he feels that he needed to create a boundary or have some sense of authority with you as a means to exercise his pride, to exercise his truth. But I'm hearing now that it's kind of backfired. So, okay, so what I'm getting is that I'm getting that this is humble pie for both of you. I'm getting that he snapped too quick and you reacted. You reacted to the snap. So you both have some splaining to do. Again, if you have a question on Instagram, please DM me. That is how I will read your question. And I would love to read your question. So just please put it in the DMs and I will get to it. So yeah, I feel like this, whatever this thing is, I get this word, this phrase that is backfire. Something has backfired. And I feel, okay, what I'm getting right now, and everything I share is for the highest good. But what I'm getting right now is that this breakup is temporary, but that it is really important that there is the possibility for you to be reunited together if you would choose that. Yet what guidance is saying is, if that is what's going to happen, that it should be from a matured place, that it should be from you guys learning about this. And what I'm also getting is that you know how sometimes there's certain partners you pair up with, and some people, like, that's just what you do. You break up like all the time. That's just a part of the way that you quick snap, quick cut, quick get to your lessons and your karmas and get through the healings about things. And I get the impression that this is one of those relationships, and not that you have to break up all the time, but where this isn't one of those relationships where it's just going to be this long, like, fairy tale and everything's perfect. This is like, you guys got some work to do. You may or may not continue with it, but there's a sense of you have some work to do, and I get that you're both not to blame, but you're both liable. There's an equal amount of him and there's an equal amount of you that's kind of like tugging. He was creating boundaries, or I get that he's got a little bit of control thing going on, and you're a free spirit. And so there's these interesting dynamics that play out in just how your free spirit might want to hop, skip, play, but he might, even though he is has a big ego and has a lot of pride, there's still a part of him that doesn't know how to play yet, though, to like let the ego come down so he can be goofy to the extreme that you just naturally can. And then there's jealousies, or there's healthy boundaries with other sexes and in the relationship. So there's all these interesting, complex ways that this stuff trickles down in your mirroring with one another. Yet I get that he's willing to do the work. Like, I get that he's down with this not being like the end. It's almost like if you each choose it, there's a threading, there's a path that you can meet and come back and be like, okay, you know what? I know you maybe did this, I did that, or whatever it is, but everyone, what I'm seeing, what higher self is saying, that the remedy to this situation, if you were guided to continue, is about everyone sort of sucking it up and saying, like, look, I know I totally reacted to this situation and that probably caused you to feel X. And I'm so sorry. I see apologies. I see sincerity. And I see real opportunity for growth. So that even if this doesn't end up being like the person you spend the rest of your life with and you're 85 years old on the front porch, drinking iced tea, so to speak, I feel that there is a possibility, right? Here's your card that came out, the card of possibility. There is a possibility for the reunion, for the healing, for the repair. It's not over yet, is what higher self is saying. Yet you're both mature enough to be at a point of humility where you can see each other and be seen yourself. Because this person, he loves you, and I'm getting that you love him. Now tell me if I'm really way out of the field here, but I'm getting that it's not done. If you choose it not to be done, it doesn't have to be done. Yet a full honoring of what has come. You can't just gloss over it and be like, oh, baby, I miss you, and have like some wild sex and just be like, yeah, we're back, without covering that. Like, you need to go there, feel those feelings, have those conversations. And it feels like you're both ready to do that. You're both ready to mature, and with each other as a witness. And you guys make a really good team. The question is, do you want to go back? Okay. So I pray that serves you. And thank you for DMing me on Instagram. Again, if you have a question on Insta, send it to me through the DM. I'm going to hop. Oh, there is another one. Nope. That's it. Okay. Blessings. So please go ahead and send it through. I'm going to hop back on over here. Okay. Okay, so here we have Joanne K. How does my Scorpio feel for me? Will he communicate with me? Okay, Sophia, my dear, well, we did answer your question. And you may need to rewind, okay? Just so you know. So it was before the part where I was reading over your comments. How does my Scorpio feel for me, says Joanne. Will he communicate with me? Again, if you are on, I see there's questions coming up on Insta, and I love your questions. Just please DM. Just DM me, okay? And I will get to them in that way. So the question is about this Scorpio man. How does my Scorpio feel for me? Will he communicate with me? How does my Scorpio feel for me? Will he communicate with me? Interesting, we have the miser. So the miser speaks to, you see this person, I'll do my best to make sure everyone on Insta can see, but also on YouTube. So this person has a lot of jewels, they have a lot of treasures, but they are being miserly, they're holding them back. They're sort of saying like, this is mine. And this is reflecting the Scorpio. He's withholding communication right now. He's withholding, and Scorpios are so good at that, the men. You know, they can, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, but it's just that they understand that subtle, the language of non-language, the language of what can be conveyed when there is nothing said, when there is only that which is withheld. And it feels that he is in this motion right now with you. I don't know why, but let me read your question again. How does he feel for you? Well, he's withholding right now. Okay, we had another card fall out. He's withholding, very interesting. The other card that popped out is past lives. So let's take a moment and ask, excuse me, universe, ask the higher self. So what I'm getting is that he unless he's really activated in that spiritual way, he's unconsciously or subconsciously aware that you both have a connection that is deeper than it appears on the surface. Your presence invites him to give away the jewels in his heart, right? That picture we just saw where he's like holding back. Your presence invokes that. Yet, and I know this is tough to say about a Scorpio man because they're just such badasses, but he's scared. He is scared at what you represent to him. Now, whether he's conscious of this or not is a different story. You would have a greater sense of that in the 3D. Yet, why? Because the calibration of the two of you together is massive. The calibration of the two of you and the grid lines, the ley lines, the connections about who you have been to each other in the past is actually so huge, and is going to open up a Pandora's box in his heart. And I get that there's a part of his higher self that knows that, and that is keeping a distance because he doesn't know if he's ready for that. Now, whether he says it in those words or not is very different. Blessings. Thank you everyone for hopping on Instagram and saying hi. If you have a question, DM me. Please DM me. I'm not going to be reading them from the screen, so please, from the screen of the phone, so please DM me. I thank you so very much, and I will get right back onto that phone here shortly. So, yeah, he's... You know, but the thing about it, though, is that if it feels sincere, and if we generally, we're not here about pushing anyone around, about making, forcing any will, manipulating on purpose, trying to force things to be a certain way. Yet, we are given this insight and this information and to do with what we will. And so there is a sense that with this information, you can either walk away or be mindful and allow him the time and the space to navigate things in his own way, so that when he is safe, when he is ready, that shift will happen and he will slowly start to open his heart. So I see our Insta is ending the show, as I said. is going to go for another half an hour. So I am going to click live again. If this is where we part on Insta, I thank you for your support. And please DM me your question because I'm not going to be reading them from the screen. So DM me on Insta and I'd be happy to get back over to that phone. Namaste with so much love and blessings. I will be right back though. All right. So blessings everyone here at YouTube land. I'm just going to do this. Boop. And then we're going to get back in live again on the Insta. Okay, my friends, and we have just another half an hour. So please, if you have any questions, send them in. So I pray that that serves you, Joanne. So, okay, he is so true. He is scared. He acts like it. He almost cried the last time we spoke. Woo! Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, blessings. Okay, good. So I'm glad that resonates with you. Blessings. Now I'm going to just double check our Insta and see if we have anyone here with our questions. We do. Okay, blessings. So let's get right in here. Okay, Patricia's. Hi, I'm about to graduate high school. Never did anything high schoolers do. I'm throwing a party tomorrow. How can I get enough people to show up? I'm about to graduate high school. Never did anything high schoolers do. I'm throwing a party. How do I get enough people to show up? So the question here is it about the amount of people or the right kind of people? That's what higher self is just introducing. Is it about the amount of people or the right kind of people? And it's interesting that this is similar to a question we were answering earlier from the comments in YouTube. Higher self is saying it is going to be what is going to be. It is going to be what it is going to be, and it will be perfect. Your job is to create the correct conditions so that the elements that you wish to be present can preside. So what the higher self just wants you to know is that not being attached to the numbers, not being attached to how many people come in, but to the value of the energy that is going to be there is more important. Because it's one thing, right, to have a party with all sorts of people that are not the right kind of people that you want in your home or at the event, than having like a small number of people who you're just having so much fun with, boogieing, playing the right music, dancing, laughing, partying, or not partying, but just in your own way, getting your party on. And so higher self is just saying that that's what's really important, and to be mindful of that, because high school is a big deal. You know, you're growing into being a different version of who you were. And you're allowed to have fun. You're totally allowed to have fun. And so take a moment with me now, Patricia, and I pray that I'm saying your name right, XX, Patricia. So take a moment, take a breath, and see the space where you know that event, that party is going to happen, and just how we did earlier, right? So earlier, I think it was with Sophia, we went back in time, and now we're going to go forward in time. Whether it's tonight, tomorrow night, next week, whenever this party is, go forward in time, see the event, see the place. See yourself connected to white light, a stream of white light coming in through your crown, into your heart, filling you up, and then feel and see that white light extending from your heart and filling each room, filling the pathway to your home, the hallway, the main door, all of the rooms, the windows, all in every little nook and cranny. Just see it filled with love, see it filled with light. And I know this might sound a little kindergarten, right? But this is the basic level of being a conscious co-creator of our life's experience. This is the basic level. Our ability to see light, to call light in, to cast light through is what creates the correct conditions for love, right? And if I'm assuming you're down with love. If you're watching this show, I'm assuming you're down with love, and that you invite that presence, you invite that energy into the space, right? And so that's the most important thing that I'm getting from higher self, from your higher self right now, is to be aware that placing the conditions for that love to be the ultimate point of attraction for people to come to your party is most vital. Now, within that fabric of love, what you're going to be invited to do, Patricia, is to add, what are the other, let's just take a moment and add at least 3 to 5, what words generate the right kind of energy or values or qualities that you intend to experience. Place them there in that room, in those rooms, in that venue, wherever it is, even if it's outdoors, within that white light that you have placed. Just see yourself in your mind's eye, in your heart, speaking each word and feel the energy of that word activating in that space. Maybe it's joy, maybe it's fun, maybe it's laughter, maybe it's safety, right? Maybe it's celebration, you know, whatever the words are that you know you want to have that juicy energy, you know, pop in there, place those there, and then let it go. Let it go. If you believe in God, give the whole thing to God. If you believe in love and light and your angels, whatever it might be, give it to that divine source and let it go. And then higher self is really funny. And in a 3D way, then just make sure everyone that you know knows, you know, there's a 3D level of like, are you guided to make little flyers? You know, are you guided to make a little flyer and hand out as many of those to the people you know, and to say to everyone, hey, bring a friend or bring two friends, you know, bring some good people along. Because really, ultimately, again, there's that idea with the character who was asking a similar question earlier, that it's the pre-planning that often is what is going to be of the greatest service, is to have something in mind and then to build on it for several months up to it. But also a party's going to be just what a party's going to be. So don't worry about your numbers. Again, the most important practical aspect that higher self is saying is it's the energy, the quality of energy versus the quantity of people. What would you like? What would turn you on to go to a party? What would change your mind about going to this party or that party? You know, and make sure that it's authentic to you, because you want to be holding space and facilitating whatever the music is or whatever the dancing is or whatever the vibes are, something that's true to you, so that it's not just a room full of all sorts of people that you don't know doing stuff that you're not really into, but that you're like, no, this is how I want to get down, right? So if it's a non-alcoholic party, then you're just like, hey crew, everyone who's clean, let's fucking get down, let's do it. You know, like, be authentic, be integral to you, and then your crew will show up. And it doesn't matter if that's a crew of 3 or a crew of 300. All right, my dear. So blessings, and thank you so much for your question on Insta. Let's keep going. Okay. I'm going to just call you Dawn. What does currently Jacob think about me and feel? Also, does he have any intentions? Not a romantic reading unless the cards indicate to it. I just want to know what he really thinks of me and feels for me. We will end school in like 2 weeks, and I don't know what to do. Okay, Jacob, how do you feel about Dawn? And I know that that is not your full name. No Dante. No Dante. And I pray I'm saying that correctly. So Jacob, so it doesn't have to be romantic, you're saying, but if it is, that you are open to that counsel. So higher self, cards, all those divine guidance, I'm getting to pull an angel card. How does Jacob feel about, I'm going to just call you Dawn. How does Jacob feel about Dawn? And higher self, how does Jacob feel about Dawn? Okay, he's shy. Woo! He is shy. Oh, what? We got the blank angel card. Okay, what? Dawn, when this card comes up, this means that anything is possible, which means that even though there may or may not be an identifiable romantic thread that's happening right now, when the card with nothing, when the angel card that has no word printed on it comes up, that means that anything good is possible for you. So what I get that he really likes you. He really likes you. I get that this is BFF material, you know, that the two of you really lean into each other very well, but that it's also BFF material at the beginning. You know, BFFs do, oh, okay, and this is beautiful. Can I just say, flowering. This is all about love. This is love, 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 love. You know, and BFFs are awesome because you can like fall in love with your BFF, but it doesn't ever have to be like, you don't have to like get married and have children. You know, it's just that they really see you and they bring out the best in you. They encourage you, they support you. You all of a sudden have like a set of superpowers that maybe you didn't have before. And I get that with you and Jacob. I get that you just naturally do that for each other, but I get that he's shy. He's shy, and if things were ever going to go romantic, that it would be a very long time in the making. So what I'm getting for now is that your relationship is mostly about this exploring the unknown territory first of being friends, of spending time together, getting to know each other, and the unfolding of that love, of that beautiful love that is innately, that already is between the two of you. It already is between the two of you. So obviously you're going to make sure that you have, that you're like already friends on whatever social things, that you have your phone numbers, your emails. There's even, what I'm getting is that there's even like classes or things that you might even want to be like, hey, do you want to check this out? And that becomes a thing. Again, not to manipulate it, but just because you can. And if the nature of the relationship is leaning in that way and you really appreciate hanging out with this guy anyway, and be like, let's just keep this going. Let's join this film club where like you get to go to a new film every 2 weeks. And so you have like this ongoing thing where you connect, you know, beyond school, beyond the summer. So there's a sense of that where you can, for the highest good, you know, just put it out there and see. And if he's like, yeah, no, whatever, you'd be like, okay, all right, well, cool. But I get that he likes you. He is shy. If there's something romantic, it's not going to be for a long time. But ultimately, this relationship that you have with each other is rooted in love, which is really beautiful. I have a BFF like that. If this resonates with you, and I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the whole world, because what I'm getting is that there's a value of love there that nothing else can touch. Nothing else can touch what you guys have the potential to be. And this could be an ongoing thing. So I don't know if that means that you're going to be coming back to school next year and still being either in the same class or different grades, but this has an ongoing thing. He trusts you. He feels that he can open up to you, but he still does have shyness about him. I pray that that serves you. He sounds lovely. Jacob sounds really, really lovely. And you don't know what to do. So again, there's that little plan, if it sounds good, to just be like, hey, do you want to keep hanging out? Do you want to keep hanging out? Ah, there you go. You're on. Is this you here? Okay. You feel like he's been avoiding you since you asked him what his first impression of you was through text, but he came and sat with you in class. I don't understand, because when he told me funny and cool was the first thing I think of, I responded now or initially, and he hasn't opened my Snap for 3 weeks, LOL, but yesterday he came and sat with me in class, but he skipped today. So I'm trying to know what he thinks of me and feels. Help. Yeah, no, he's cool with it. But again, because he's shy and he's very territorial about his territory. And I've said this before with other dynamics in this way, is let him, even though he's a young man, let him grow up into being the man about this situation. So avoid bombarding him with too many questions that he needs to answer, because every guy who has not come into their full manness just gets freaked the fuck out by that. Like if he has any insecurities, doesn't know how to talk to a woman, is not even in that mode of being like all with chicks yet, like too much needing and wanting of him to explain or to answer your questions could just, it could just be too much for him. It could be too much for him. Again, he's shy. He likes you. It's happening. Like that is happening. And again, the most important thing is the friendship before anything. But there is this, you know, I don't know if this blank card means that he's going away to Taiwan for the summer and you won't see him. He's going away to Taiwan with his whole family, and so you won't. And you might just see him once or twice in an email, and it'll all just hit the refresh button in the new year. But the thing with this is that there's nothing to do but just to keep being honest with yourself. Just keep being your beautiful self, because he does like you, but don't be too pushy. Don't be too pushy, because then that'll give him room to man up, you see, and to move towards you. But if you just keep reaching out, Young men, they get very, this is all, now this is me talking, right? This isn't higher self, but this is me from my experience, but they can become too overwhelmed. And women in that emotional way mature way faster than young men. And so if they feel that they're being too stifled and there's too much being asked of them too soon, then they could just fold and like walk away. So what I'm also getting with him is that he he needs to feel comfortable. He needs to feel that there is a space for him to enter as in his maleness. And so while there is a divine balance of you being like, hey, I'm here, what's up? You want to hang out, you want to blah 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 blah. There's also this balance of not suffocating him with too much of that stuff. Because you want him to be able to make his own decision, not forced by you, but from his own truth in his heart to be like, she's fucking cool. I want to hang out with her more. You don't want him to do that just because you burned a candle and affirmed it as so, right? You want it to be genuine. And it shows that it is there. And so this is a part of growing up, right? It's just like learning that maturity of like breathing in and out and maybe getting excited about it, but still don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you're expecting love and romance, keep yourself opening. Okay, my dear. Okay. Okay. Okay, so Sophia's continuing, but you know what, we're going to keep going because we already did answer your question and there's a few more before we wrap up. So Anushe, career reading, Brianna says, hi. Ashima, how to get into the list. Honey, just put your question at the bottom of the comments and I'm going to get to as many as I can. I'm going to be a little quicker now because we've only got about 15 minutes left. Okay, so a career reading for you. Can I have a career reading? Yes, you can. Okay. Anushe, career reading. Anushe. Career reading. Career reading. Anushree. So I'm getting something very interesting and it says, you are gold. You are gold, Anushree. They want what you have. They just don't know it yet. So what I'm getting is that there's two paths. There's like a job to pay the rent, kind of a job. But I'm also getting this idea that there is like a creation within you that you have not fully put into birthing, in the sense of you are invited to not only, because a job will always be there. I get for you that you have connections, you can have a job, but a career specific to this idea, this creation within you, you are being called by higher self now to start to materialize it in the 3D, to start to give it, to make it look like something that you can present, to make it look like something that other people can either try out or hold or touch or smell, or where you have a presentation and you start to break down information for them so they can understand the vistas that you are displaying. Because I feel that you have something really beautiful, really integral to share, but you have yet to give it a proper platform and vehicle to be seen. And once that thing is seen for you, I get that you will be seen in a different light. You will see yourself in a new light and new opportunities will come, right? Because with a job, it's, what I'm getting is you have like, you know, as long as you're not focusing on that thing that you feel that may be tingling you to create, to co-create with the universe, you're going to still get those part-time jobs that are like, you could live without them. You're grateful, you know, yet it's not really tingling you and it's not really pushing you to grow or to expand yourself. But there's something in your heart, Anushree, there's something in your heart and you know what it is. And it wants you to start putting time into it. Even if you have to get that little part-time job or something in the meantime. Yeah. See, you've been postponing. You see this postponement card. It is within your heart. The colors of this divine vision are within you already. They've been walking with you, but you've been holding back. You've been postponing the process of this coming into being, but not anymore. There is a shift happening, and that's why you're here asking this question. There's a shift happening. You are ready to become more aware of what your divine guidance is, more aware of your path now. And how are you doing that? By embodying the rebel nature, by embodying the nature of you that is ready to push through self-doubt, that is ready to just dissolve those parts of you that have decided that you can't do it, or that you shouldn't do it, or that it isn't time. I'm going through that myself right now with the movie that I'm making. There's so many, seeming obstacles in my mind and reasons why I should doubt myself. Yet I encourage you, take those little steps, because the rebellious energy is with you. You will be, when you have the courage to step towards that thing, it is going to come even faster. And it's going to give you wings. It's going to give you excitement. It's going to give you good energy. So even if in the meantime you have to work at the shoe store or whatever it is, you're going to be coming home and working on your project. And the more that you work on the project, the more that will come into focus, the more vibrationally you will be energized with that frequency. And so draw and connect with more of those divine ideas, more of those people that have an interest in what you're doing, that is truly aligned with your heart. Now that's career, right? Versus a job. So your divine guidance is to get on with that and to be that and do that. And what is there for you? There's love. There's love, there's love, there's love, there's a breakthrough, and into the next realm of nothingness, where you have a blank slate. So you have that blank slate, okay? So use it. Blessings, you're very welcome. Brianna, I would love to know what's happening between me and my DM. The energy has got really heavy. There's healing taking place, and I don't know what DM is besides direct message, do I? Sometimes I get in my head, but I'm trusting my intuition. Okay, so Brianna, I would love to know what's happening between me and my DM. Divine masculine, I think that's what that means. The energy has got really heavy. There's healing taking place between us. So it sounds like you do know what's going on. There's a healing. Sometimes you get in your head, but you're trusting your intuition. He's your person you're in love with. Okay. No, I get it. I get it. Okay. I get it. Let's check in, Brianna. So for the highest good, higher self, Brianna's higher self, what is the counsel now for her? You're each on different. So what I see is like arrows, and there are times where you align and you're like heading right into the same target. And then there's times where you change and you veer off and you're kind of doing your own thing. And I see that right now, this is what's happening, that you're both on a different trajectory. And so it feels like things are really being displaced, because they are. There is a sense that you two fit together really nicely, really complementary. And he knows that too. Yet, in terms of love, higher self is saying he may not be aware of things on that level with you. He just knows it feels good. He can be himself, but there is a sense that your arrows are going in a different trajectory right now, and that's where the healing is. It's in this taking the pieces apart, letting all those spaces in between that connect you both be healed, be cleansed, so that the refitting can happen. So, what is the further counsel here? And I know you asked a very specific question. Let me see. Okay, trusting your intuition. The energy's gotten really heavy. Okay, very heavy. Very heavy. Okay, I'm getting right now that he's actually depressed. He may not even know it, but he's going through in this he's going his way and he's going through his journey, but he's doing what he needs to do. He's doing what he needs to man up. And unconsciously, like, he knows that. He's dealing with some, they're saying demons. He's dealing with some parts of himself. I get that he's young, but I get that he's conscious, that he's dealing and he's coming face to face with parts of himself that he kind of wishes he wouldn't have to deal with this. But there's also this like soldier boy in him that's like, I'm gonna face my shit. I'm gonna work this out. I don't know what that means, but I'm stepping in. But with that like courageousness, there's also this sense of you know what, he's courageous, but he's resisting it. So he's resenting it. And so there's this depression. There's this lack of full energy. So while it's getting heavy, it's actually on his side. So what higher self wants you to know is that the heaviness is on his side. The depression, to whatever degree, even if it's just mildly, is put there by him. And there's higher self is saying there's nothing that you can do about it, nor is there anything that you're supposed to do about it. This is something that he gets to be on his own. He gets to figure this stuff out on his own for himself and get through it. Doesn't mean that you can't send him love, positive vibes, and hold space for him as the divine feminine in the play. But there are parts of our lives, whether if you are twin souling it or soul mating it, there's just some stuff where they have to work out. They have to work it out for themselves. We can't do it for them. We just can't do it for them. And this feels like this is one of those times where you get to just step back. Intuitively, you're right. He's going through some stuff. And when you feel it's natural and it feels integral, that you can say, if you have that level of relationship where you can say, just want you to know, if you ever want to talk about anything or just hang out and watch a movie or like not talk about anything, but just be seen, I'm here for you. Like, that feels appropriate from your higher self. That feels an appropriate way to just let him know that you're there, that you see that there's maybe something going on, but you're not like poking at it and calling it a thing. You're just aware and saying like, hey, I'm here for you if you want. And then that way, again, with this divine masculine, a lot of these energies today, we're dipping into that, is allowing the man to man up, allowing him in his own time be his divine masculine, be in that full power and step up when he's ready to. And whether it's just to not talk about it or to talk about it or to just hang out, to be in your presence so that that energy can shift, or for whatever's the highest good to happen. And so that's the counsel, is to give him space, acknowledge that he is going through stuff. It doesn't have to be your stuff. And that these things do happen though, right? In these collective long-term evolutionary relationships, I'm assuming this is a twin flame, soulmate connection. And really, what is that? In a bubble of light, sometimes it's hard because sometimes those connections never actually see fruition and I put this in a bubble of light because you don't have to take this on as your truth. Yet in my experience of working with people and in these realms, is that sometimes we do that. We have these relationships with each other that we become better people, but not because that's the person we end up being with. Do you know what I mean? Like, we learn and we grow and we heal and we hold space for each other. And then 5-10 years down the line, it's like they end up marrying someone else, or so do you. Right. And so sometimes your twin flame or your soul connection, your soulmate, is that which, is in service to the lessons and the karmas and the healing that are taking place, more so than being the one you're going to be with for the rest of your life. But sometimes, as a goddess, sister, it's important that we are reminded of those things. It's important that we have a healthy detachment so that we don't get lost in the fantasy and the drama of the world and putting all of our focus on one person. Because that's a lot of heavy psychic energy to put on one person, especially if they're going through their dark night of the soul. To be like, so are you choosing me, or are we like, is this a thing? It's like, okay, just breathe, because you already are a thing, right? And so allow for the highest good. Let him know that you're thinking of him, that you got him, but then give him space as well. Okay, let's see. She says yes, and he told me he's in a dark place. Okay, he's in a dark place. You keep praying for him. I think I made things more difficult for him by pushing him to give me commitment. Wow, yes, that's so heart true. Yeah, so, you may have to go, either you can do this in a little prayer and a meditation, and you can go back in time and tell his higher self that you recognize now that maybe you were a little pushy, and that you're sorry. You ask his forgiveness, erase that vibration of pushiness, sage it, place love there, allow the quantum organizer, the recalibration of love in all areas of that conversation or that exchange, to just do the work of re-gridding, of reactivating what is for the highest good. So what I'm getting guided right now, if it serves you for the highest good, I'm going to just offer, and for anyone else this resonates with, if you're in any kind of a relationship, it can be even with the family, it doesn't have to be romantic, it can be a friend, and this is a really healthy thing to do, is we just imagine ourselves, imagine that other person, and this could even be with a project or a creation, and we're going to imagine the line of energy that connects us both, and we're going to delink that line. We're going to detach, like unhooking you from them, unhooking them from you, and all of a sudden there's no ties, there's no lines, there's no strings connecting. In that space in between, we'll place the value of love. We'll take a breath, and we'll allow now for a reattaching, for a reconnecting and realignment that serves the highest good for both of you and for all of us in those areas that we may be guided to allow that tool, that energy to run. So if you do that either in a prayer or in a meditation, where you can talk to his higher self and say, you know what, I'm so sorry about being pushy, I take it back, or I place love there, I was feeling needy, or whatever the thing is, or when it feels right, when it feels time, when it's time, you may have a conversation with him about that. I do have a tool. Somewhere, if you type in my search bar, energy letter, oh my God, I'm going to actually make an online course. I'm going to write a little book on this. The energy letter is so powerful, where you write a letter from your higher self to their higher self. Go check it out in the search bar. As it resonates, it is a powerful metaphysical tool to have that conversation with. If you feel it's a little too much to have it in the 3D face-to-face, but energetically, you're like, I need to clear this. Let me put love here. Let me just like neutralize any funk or any holding or tension that might be there from your side, so that his side, where he's going through what he's going through, he doesn't have to have that be another part of it, but it can be transformed into your support and unconditional love for him. Yay! So I pray that serves you, Brianna. Okay, Bianca, yeah, just post your question and she'll answer it. Okay. And you know what? I believe, hi, intuitive spirit life, blessings, and thank you for hopping on. You know what? Our time is up, my loves. Oh, Brianna, thank you for subscribing. I needed this guidance. I've been confused. Okay, my love. Well, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hopping on, everyone at Insta. I love this show. We do it once a month. So the next one isn't going to be for 4 weeks. Okay, where I come on and we do Ask Me Anything, Q&A. It's all rooted in spiritual divine guidance that is rooted in love for your highest good, for all of our spiritual growth. For the highest good, I channel higher self, your higher self with the cards. On the other weeks that I don't do this Q&A show, we talk about everything spiritual, metaphysical, your spiritual growth, understanding your multidimensionality, and really beginning to flavor our tongue in the realm of a language of light, in a realm of self-mastery, in a realm of self-healing, right? Where we really begin to bridge this idea of heaven on earth, right? That the world is one place, but the earth is a very different place. The earth is what happens when you show up in love with you, in love with love, in love with life, right? Often though, what has to happen, what gets to happen en route to that is healing. Those parts of us that are unloved, is loving, learning to love those parts of us that are seeking to be validated, that are seeking to be seen, and healing the past. And as we do that, the past falls away and the true you is allowed to resonate, to shine, to be true, to be free, to live heaven on earth, which is a very different experience. And it is an initiation in and of itself. Oh, thank you so much for the little love bubble hearts on Instagram. I'm so very grateful. And I just want to make double, triple sure that no one like sent in a last minute question over here. Okay, I think someone's just saying hi. So hi. So again, you can, if you're on YouTube, you can support this channel. There's a little PayPal link. I have a couple of free mini ebooks. You get my free mini ebook, The Higher Self, Blueprint of Mastery, when you subscribe at my website, TuesdayMayThomas.com. The link is down in the show more. It's the main link at my bio, my main page at Insta. Just go there. Give me your name, your email, and I will put you on my monthly love letter list where I send out a monthly blog and all sorts of information about who I am and what I do and what I teach. I have books you can buy, free books you can download. All the links are down at my YouTube show more box, or just from my website. Just go to my books page. I'm going to be in Ireland this fall, starting interviews for my movie, Grid Mind Science, where we're going to just break down the metaphysics, what exists in the invisible realm, and how you are intimately connected to it, and how your consciousness intimately connects it with you, and then how that creates your reality, and how we can shapeshift, how we can change that by mastering the tip of our tongue, the words that we speak in conjunction with the space that we hold in our minds, and how we co-create our reality. Oh, I'm so excited. So thank you for all of your love, all of your light, everyone on Insta. I'm so grateful. I love that platform. Like, I so get down. I love, well, you know what, but it's the same. I think YouTube and Insta for me are like the same. I love them both. So thank you everyone for hopping on. And if you are down with this Q&A and you're like, I need this next month, when is it? I'm sorry, I should know. I should know. I should know. Let's just, when is this going to be anyway? You know, hop on early and put your question in. You don't have to wait for me. Hop on early and put your question in, and first come, first serve. Again, it's about 90 minutes. So let's see if today's the 16th. 1, 2, 3. So the next one is going to be the 13th of June. Okay, so just so you know, 13th of June. In the meantime, next week, we are going to be talking about the throat chakra and grounding your experience in the world. Okay, so that's going to be our topic for next month. No, for next week. I think it's time to wrap up. Namaste with so much love, blessings, love, and light to everyone. Thank you again for everything. Have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day. Namaste with so much love. So much love. Thank you. Blessings, blessings. Okay, my YouTubers, thank you for all of your love and support. I'm so very grateful. I love. I just love.